Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nature Echoes. It's on this Sunday, 21st of May, 2023. And it's a bit of a cloudy day here in Lichterdannen. And but the rain I think we had a little earlier, that's the last rain we're going to have for about 2 weeks. And I was just hearing from someone in Spain, that's 12 centigrade. What's that, 54 Fahrenheit. Over in Germany, they've got 26 centigrade, which I suppose is hovering towards 80 degrees. So, and we're going to drift into our summer in the next week, and probably going up to, as you're familiar, what we're going to, towards 18, 19, maybe 20 degrees centigrade. So we're creeping up there towards 70, and to be above that in the 70s the following week. But I don't know what's that all got to do with what we got today. Thank you for joining me. This is our weekly time for echoing news, stories, poetry, and art. It's connected to nature folklore, and this means our precious water, which is our theme today, holy wells, woodlands, hedges, and wildlife. So hail, whole, and holy good health for you all. And I hope I'm bright enough. I was messing about with lighting before this because I'm getting very grey. So I hope I'm perfectly visible. This is supposed to be an actual river behind that it drifts into the Shannon, but that was the best that I could get in pictures for the moment. But through this edition, we're going to be focusing on the rights of rivers, the lakes and holy wells. And that's very much in theme to a lovely event that I went to yesterday. And I'm going to have some of the latest that's going on with Journaling Nature Folklore, the course that is, and also with the Nature Folklore articles and any other news that I can think of in the way into this. So thank you, those. I see people are joining in now, with early birds. That's great. And this is all brought to you due to the support of our kind subscribers. I invite you to subscribe to Nature Folklore through the Substack link there. Yeah, that's the link there. And I host a free subscription there where you get the articles. There's at least 40 articles I can put up there a year. And on top of that, the short story notes I try and post on most days. So you can subscribe. That is free to go to there for that one. But if you upgrade to become a supporter subscriber, you're invited to take part in my Journaling Nature Folklore course. And your subscription costs actually cover this broadcast, which is very helpful at the expense of this. And the Journaling Nature Folklore includes 20 course modules a year, and you can join in at any time. And it's a revolving course. It's not a linear course. That means you can join any time. It goes around the seasons and starts again. I try and add the latest updates as we go round through each of the cycles. And the cost for that is either €5 a month, or you can go for the 50% discount, which is €30 a year instead of 60, and that's in your own currency, whatever that is. So thank you, support subscribers. Your support is why I'm able to still afford to pay the subscriptions and broadcast live for you here today. So with all that show survival pledge sorted, let's see. Any early birds? Nobody's commenting yet and saying hello, so I hope people will say hello soon. And when they do, I'll say hello back, and the questions will come in for sure. Right. Now, I hope some of you catch this, because yesterday I was at the Rights of the River Shannon event. It was yesterday. It was at the lovely Dune Shore towards the west of Loch Key. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to get photos sorted out. I really didn't take that many photos. If any of you subscribe to Kate Burrows on Facebook, you will see some lovely photos there. I'm sure more are going to come up, but Kate got some lovely videos up, short video clips, because there was a lovely singer that was there. Well, there was a few lovely singers. And anyway, where we were doing shore beside Loch Key, it's on the west side of it. It's a source feed into the River Shannon, and it was a perfect place for the events that we had. And I was one of the performers, and it was the first time I've performed to a live audience for 5 years, I believe. And it was a lovely, intimate audience in wonderful spirits, despite the rain showers. I say, sorry, I can't give you the mood of that by showing the photographs. I just didn't take them. So I've got to rely on other people. So I might have photos and a bit of video to show you next week about that. But to keep the tradition of when I do performance, whether it's live in front of people or online like now, people came around with me, Bars of the Woods, you understand this, and the old Sunday sessions and nature folklore sessions. I like to invite guests into any slot that I have, and this was no exception down at the Doon Shore. And the guests that I brought on was the lovely poet and regular guest Sinead McClure, who she was magic live. She really was. She was as magic as she is when she has her lovely videos that she shares with us on Nature Folklore. And the Ditch Witch Tara Time was here. She gave a lovely, interesting and entertaining talk about what she and Dave Bellows put together. And people loved her because she is very entertaining. So that was great fun. And both Dave, who usually holds the main camera, but both Dave and Tara, they both held cameras at different angles. And I should be seeing them later to see a bit of the raw footage and see if we can put that together for you for next week as well. So anyway, I'll have more to share about that event with you next Sunday, with pictures, with a bit of video as well. But the best part for me at this event, the Rise of the Shannon event, it is Biodiversity Week here in Ireland. And it was kind of the main day event, the Saturday, for those that were holding biodiversity events around Ireland. It was not me performing. That wasn't the best bit, to me anyway. But I met up with people who I contact through Facebook, YouTube, and my newsletter. And so all these people that I meet up with digitally, that I don't, first time I actually saw them in the flesh to meet up with them. And absolutely wonderful people. It was so glorious to meet these very gentle, very imaginative people. And some of them have been guests on Nature Folklore and Nature Echoes. And one of those people who, when I went up to her, it was like meeting a favorite celebrity. Her name was Lisa Moran, and you might be familiar from past broadcasts. She's a wonderful poet and filmmaker, makes these beautiful poetry films, and there's one that's really spectacular. But a great risk on meeting Lisa is that she looks a lot younger than on her Appear as a Promise video. Very, great charisma about a very calm woman. So I'm going to do an encore of Lisa's Appear as a Promise. This is her poetry film. Absolutely gorgeous. I've featured it a couple of times before, and hopefully some of you, I see the numbers coming up. Someone's going to say hello and say where they come from during the course of this video. But it's good to see there's going to be some people enjoying Lisa's video, the reprise of an encore of Appear as a Promise. There we go.
Appear as a promise. Appear as a promise traversing a lake, a place to contemplate at the edge of life's watery precipice. Appear as a beacon perched on a watery unknown, a reminder of freedom. We are all beautifully entwined, yet spellbounded on our own. Appear as a promise at the edge of a lake, a holdfast reed rooted like a compass, a breaker of tides and waves, and everything we believe we cannot be. Here is a magical horizon between land and sea, where water dances and breaks, bellowed from the deeps, rolling, playing, and renewing for all eternity. Appear as a sanctuary, a watcher and keeper of a sacred holding space. A gatekeeper for life-giving, watery embrace. Appear has one eye on the holder and a tree-strong base. It's where we go when we don't even know, to slip into blue-green twilight haze. Appear is a place of hope, where dreams float on an oak-embowed boat. Appear is a wise place, where a knowing is comfortable with the unknown, and you feel it in your bones. A place of promise, where you can acquiesce and sense a new day. And life's promise can and has begun.
Well, that was a lovely Lisa Moran and the reprise of A Period of Promise. I'm surprised the other times I've encored that, comments have poured in, so I hope you are seeing this okay. The broadcast is going fine, or maybe it's just you're enjoying the Sunday, and that's one of the things I need to announce is that because things are going on a Sunday, we got this extra daylight. I'm going to actually be moving the Nature Echoes right through to 9 o'clock in the evening Irish time. I'm broadcasting this at 5, but as from next week, going to try so that I can go to things on Sunday. Is going to try and put that. This show is going to be from 9 o'clock Irish time as from next Sunday. We'll try that is, and if that's not so good. Anyway, that was Lisa Moran, a lovely poetry film, most beautiful one, and I'm very surprised that I haven't been getting comments on that one. It's usually flooded with comments if I ever show that one, so please let me know if this broadcast is not coming through properly, if you're not getting the audio, if there is an error. If there is, usually someone says there's something. I better check to make sure that the stuff's going through, because it does seem very strange. Yes, everything looks absolutely hunky-dory. So no problem with that. Good news is when I met Lisa Moran at the biodiversity event, the rights of the Shannon River, she said she's actually completed a new poetry film, and she's going to talk to me about that next week. So I can't wait for that. And for those of you, there are new people popping on. Obviously, I can't show the film again, but I trust you'll watch the archive. So here's there she is. There's a sample of her doing her water dance, a photograph of that. And to show you what's coming up, this is what we've got going, Watery Nature Echoes edition, the rights of rivers, lakes, and wells. And this is a screen that I'm actually sitting in front of, a river going into the Shannon, because I'm sitting up against it. So there we go. Any comments yet? No, the comments aren't coming in. I hope you're not having a problem, as I say, with that. But I'll read your comments when you put them on later. Now, river rights, the whole thing. I had some questions. What do you mean by the river rights? I think there's a site that's called River Rights, something like that, riverrights.org. And I'm going to quote a few bits that I got from that and one or two other websites, because people said, what do you mean by river rights, rights of water? So a little bit of an explanation. I don't have any pictures for this. But the first thing is acknowledging the rivers are essential for all life by supporting a wondrous diversity of species and ecosystems. The water that feeds the wetlands, the rivers feed the wetlands. And this is one thing with the Shannon. It does feed some wetlands and other aquatic habitats, make sure they got abundance of water. And through doing that, it delivers life-giving nutrients to coastal estuaries and oceans. The river doesn't go in an organized way. If a river's flowing properly, it will sort of disperse itself in different places a natural river would do. So by doing so, it performs other essential ecological functions, I think you could say. Also, to be aware that rivers also play a vital role in the efficient function of our rain cycle. I bring this up in the folklore quite a few times, and because the goddess stories in the river really brings attention to this. And the rivers have a vital role to play in this rainwater distribution cycle. Also, the need to recognize the absolute dependence of people that live on and by rivers and how essential the water-based systems are for them. Because the water and the rivers and the lakes, even the holy wells and ponds, they support human life by providing us with clean and bountiful water for all our drinking and our sanitation too, and assisting that we have fertile soil, food sources, and essential mentally, psychologically, the water around us is essential for calming our mind. Just like the video I just showed of Lisa Moran. I think that is a lovely example of the calm and peace of that. And I said, when I met Lisa, that's how she is in regular life. The water, the rivers, they also recharge us. To me, water is very recharging. A lot of people have a lot of celebration with fire. And I imagine if I was talking about fire now, the audience would be a lot bigger. But I've explained that differences in other episodes. But to me, I'm very much into the water folklore, and I find it very recharging. And when we do recreation or contemplate by water and water use for other cultural issues, very repairing, very refreshing from us. There's quite an alarm, and it is an alarming thing. You'll see it posted on social media, on Twitter and Facebook, etc. The humans have caused an incredible amount of pollution to water, to rivers worldwide, including organic matter from wastewater, from sewerage, from plastic waste is a major concern, and various pathogens. And when I was at college, there was the discovery of a radioactivity going into the water, and it wasn't from the nuclear power stations either, but I'm going to set that aside at the moment. But you get nutrients from agriculture, contaminants from industry, excuse me. And all of this, we become aware, is declining the aquatic health. So we're killing off the life in the water, in the rivers, and that's sort of thinning out the biodiversity, and we don't really want that. Because one thing that'll spread out, if you kill that off, it actually extends into negative effects on human health as well. I think we just need to understand that national and international laws that cover waterways anywhere, most places in the world, are very inadequate, and they don't really protect the integral health of the rivers, of the lakes, and the other natural basins that feeds the rivers. And the current law fails to ensure current and future generations for humans and other species that are dependent on adequate supplies of clean water. The entire ecosystem, us, the animals, the plants, everything depends on the adequate supply of clean water to meet their basic needs. They don't depend on everything going up in fire. They definitely do that, although there are situations where fire is a natural and needed thing as well, but that's not for Ireland. And another thing with the water rights is being aware that all people, including indigenous communities and other local communities as well, it doesn't matter about the spiritual faiths. This is relevant for all spiritual faiths. They have long held traditions within their community, within their religions, within their customs, and the laws of nature, which a lot of people describe as Mother Earth. And so really, rivers are a right-bearing entity, and the rivers, at least, I hope you'll agree they deserve and need their own fundamental rights. We might not even consider that. This is the one thing why this is being brought up about rights for rivers. So there is, I don't know who put it together, there is a kind of policy, I suppose you would say, or I'm trying to think of a word that would describe it. You'll probably come up with something with me. It's a pity people. This is the first broadcast where people haven't made comments. I hope you're getting the comments through. Someone make a comment, please, to make sure that comments are working. That you're actually getting this broadcast okay. I've never gone this far in a broadcast without at least one comment of saying at least hello. Haven't heard from anyone yet. I see the figures listening is quite high, and they come up and they diminish. So please, someone talk to me. Anyway, I'll go through this about what this, I suppose, a constitution for rivers. And one, declare that all rivers are entitled to the fundamental rights set forth. Yeah, declaration. Let's call it a declaration. And this arises from the very existence of rivers on our planet. Anybody saying hello yet? Anyway, and second one is declaring that all rivers are living entities that possess a legal standing in the court of law. Number three, establish that all rivers shall possess a minimum, the fundamental rights of the right to flow, the right to perform essential functions within its ecosystem, the right to be free from pollution, also the right to feed and be fed by sustainable aquifers, the right to native biodiversity, and the right to regeneration and restoration. This is what all the river rights are about. And there's a fourth one, to further establish that these rights are intended not only to ensure the health of rivers, but also the health of watersheds and river basins, all that feed into the rivers, which is what it's all part of, as well as the health of all ecosystems, giving them a fundamental right as well to exist, thrive, and evolve alongside the rivers. Number five of the declaration is maintaining, in order to ensure full implementation and enforcement of all these rights, each river shall be entitled to an independent appointment of one or more or a few legal guardians that act on behalf of the river's rights and who may represent the river in any legal proceeding. Or before, they're the ones that are the representatives before any government body in power to effect it. At least one legal guardian should be an indigenous representative that is part of the community close to the river that's being representative. And then number six in the declaration, determining the rivers shall have their best interests that are determined by the legal guardians. Oh, there's one more. Number seven, resolve that all states shall implement rights in full within a reasonable amount of time, including developing and acting upon an integrated community assessment, especially of watershed health, the lakes and all small rivers and burns, those that feed into. The river in here, the water people do check that water quite often, so it's very nice that there's so towards. Oh, and then there is another in the declaration. There's a number 8. All governments should ensure prompt and adequate financial mechanisms to realize that the fundamental river rights, including the rights of rivers to restoration, also asserting that government should consider for decommissioning all dams that don't have any compelling social or ecological purpose. They've just been there to build and give construction companies money. So all new dam construction should only occur when necessary and to achieve a compelling social and ecological purpose that can't be met by any other alternative ways. And of course, that gives that doesn't go ahead. Nothing in the way of dams goes ahead without the consent of hopefully a local indigenous person, the representative of the river as well. So that's really the rights of rivers. And I am absolutely shocked. There's no comments whatsoever. This has never happened in a broadcast, which makes me think that something is going wrong here. So someone please comment to confirm to me, because I can't check whether I'm live or not. All the readings here look absolutely brilliant. And nobody said hello yet. Nobody has done that. That is a first time ever. I don't usually get that far. Anyway, I hope this, I've got one more feature before I leave this, and I just hope that this is working for you. And I've been wanting to hold interviews with various women working on county projects and county holy well projects, that is. These projects, they locate and encourage the preserve of local holy wells and eager to share their results with you. But it seems to be near impossible for me to arrange interviews. And I suppose if I get numbers like this and people not responding, they don't want to come on board. But as I say, this is quite unique today. One of them in Donegal was Catherine McGlynn. She's surprisingly been the only one, these various people that make the collections of holy wells show where they are and help to arrange access and even an improvement on them. She's the only one that doesn't get any grants for doing this. Her and her husband, they just do it as volunteers. They're incredible holy well researchers. They get involved with local storytellers who show them the hidden wells. The farmers are often their storytellers. And they've got a wonderful archive of most of the Donegal wells now. And there's a beautiful one. I'm going to bring a picture up of this one. This one here. It might be off the screen a bit, but that one is a beautiful well, a place called Minagrave. It's not far from the twin towns Stranraer and Ballyboffy. They're two towns almost joined together, separated by a river bridge. And yeah, I've actually cycled on that road. It's on the road from those twin towns to Fintown. And I used to cycle that quite often during my wild, mad cycling days. But I didn't see that well. I didn't get to that well. I was investigating sites and people showing me them. And Catherine is in conversion. She's in conversation. I've got a video clip here. She's in conversation with a farmer called Norman, whose land is where this well is. And he said that once upon a time, it used to be very well visited. And he would love more people to come and visit the well. But please, when you visit the well and you track it down, ask him first. And like many farmers, he enjoys the interest that people have in ancient wells and in special sites on their land. But farmers are very nervous of people who are insurance claim opportunists. And there's more and more of these around that's spoiling it for everyone else. Or just casual people that just jump off a bus or out of the car, they run through the field, take a few photographs and then leave because they got 200 places to visit that day, and they end up perhaps dropping some litter and leaving the gates open, causing chaos. Animals start eating the litter or they escape through the gate. So just ask so that he can screen you on that. Has anyone nobody's made a comment yet. I'm absolutely shocked. I assume something must be going wrong here. I won't find out until I finish the show, which is only going to be in a few minutes anyway. But here's Catherine's video of Minagrave Well in beautiful Donegal, and I'll just bring that up for you now. Oh, I've got it somewhere else. Right, here it is. No, let's get it started. Here we go.
Okay, Norman, so this is, what would we call this area?
You're in the townland of Mina Grave.
Mina Grave.
Yeah.
And this holy well has been here?
From, God knows, hundreds of years back.
Okay.
But as I say, I'm getting on in years now, and I never remembered it's just the same as this. Sometime it'll be a good few generations since they changed down to there, like, you know.
And it's a beautiful well for one that isn't really used. It's in perfect condition.
That used to be, there was gorse, the ones we call them, but the gorse, you know, with the yellow flowers.
Yes.
They used to be all up round there. And the story goes that the people next door here, they were Protestants, you see, and there were ones on their ground, and it came over through the March ditch.
Right.
And they were nearly out of their mind because they said the Catholics would say they done it deliberate and all that sort of thing. Imagine. But,
crazy.
When they got to within 6 foot of it, the fire went out in its own accord and left it.
Oh, they set fire to the whin bushes?
They had been doing it over on their own ground, and the wind had...
Oh, and it carried it over. But it didn't damage the wee well?
It didn't damage the well.
That was good.
That was always the story was told.
Yeah.
And then the peasants used to come and leave money on that big flag there.
Yeah.
A few coins yet.
Oh yeah, there's another.
There's another.
Well, the moss has grown over them.
That's what it is, like, you know. I don't think there are any more. But one time that used to be covered on them, like, you know.
There's probably old holy medals too, because I see at a lot of wells they would have, people would leave things like that.
No, not too many now.
Probably in between the rocks there's lots of things here.
Things like that.
And would people leave rosary beads and things here?
Used to do, but not now. There's nobody coming to us. I have made it known to different people, and they nearly laugh at you now. And the young lads in the district that had been, I suppose, hadn't too much, used to come. There was no ice cream in the shop at that time. Some of them would be smoking or something.
Yeah.
And get the price of a cigarette off it.
From the change in the holy well?
Yeah, from the change in the holy well.
Did you not tell me about somebody that had something about somebody who'd taken the money
My
from?
uncle used to have the shop.
Yeah.
There where Ran is now. And there was a fellow dead now, Anthony Heaney. He came from a home. He lived in the locality, and he was walking at the temples of this here, Jimmy and Johnny Temple at one time, do you see?
Owned this land?
They owned this land,
right.
And my father bought it from them years ago. But what was it now?
He took the money from the well?
Yeah, they went over and it was weather beaten, do you see, and he knew where it came from. So he made him take it back again. He says, because the parish priest will be on, he says, give me a doing.
Exactly. But I suppose kids, what are you going to do?
They needed money, and sure,
yeah,
that's the proper thing to do.
And sure, if you give, it doesn't matter.
Well, so that is it.
So, Norman, this road here is a beautiful road, and you were telling me it used to be the old road between
Balbuffet and Glenfin.
Balbuffet and Glenfin. It's sort of parallel to the new one, but high.
It is, but you go across here now, right into the Glenmore estate where Michael Honey is now, and I just see traces of it yet going through the wood. And then it comes out at Dewey School.
Okay.
Appears there again, goes in the back of there, and every bend in the road, you'll see where it crosses the road to go down to Gallinas there, the big straight piece before you go to Capra.
So this road was straight,
straight,
and the new one is
all the
bendy?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, it does, you know.
And do you remember people coming to this well?
Yes.
Would there be many? You know, would they have...
There was, what do you call the people who's the Ford garage in that there, Kenny?
Hegarty's.
Hegarty's. About 10 or 12 years ago, they came a few times.
Right.
And they stopped coming then. But no, there's been nobody here for years. But they used to tie little rags on the bushes round about and all the rest, you know.
And Was there was no special day, you know, the way with some of them?
Not that I know about.
And was there ever masses said here, or just private prayer?
Oh, I think it'd be private prayer.
Just private
I
prayer.
never ever remember a priest or anything else there. Like, it's just the people are in the countryside.
And did they have any cures ascribed to it, do you know?
There were some cures, I reckon, like pains in the legs and things like that. They drunk the water and they said it done a bit of good, like, you know.
Right.
But it's there. At one time when Father Sweeney came to Glenfun and I would come back from England, I said to him one time, said, we have a holy well over here. Would it be all right to modernise it like that? And he said, I'll come over, you know. He says, that wants to be left like that for all time, he says. So that's we done, like, you know.
Well, that's great. Again, thank you for Kathleen McGlynn. Still no comments even on that video. Very surprising, because I get comments galore on the videos. So I think something must be going wrong here. If someone can say hello, let me know comments are working. At the end of this show, I will link you to the Catherine's and husband's very precious We Love Donegal. It's a YouTube channel. So we'll share that with you. All I can really do now, Substack updates. Some of you may realize I've completed and posted the complete 9-part Building a Frolic series. And at the gathering by the Shannon yesterday, there was a lot of comments. People love the Green Man and the Ashling one. So that was pretty popular. But I trust you've enjoyed the series, are enjoying that series, and can use it in some way. I'm not sure which series I'll work on next. I'm eager to post my Us and Trees series, but I've also got a permaculture living one to do. But getting close to summer solstice, I'm thinking of that too. There'll be a little series for that. After summer solstice, late June, I'll get started with a quite long first harvest series. I think you'll find that's interesting, and that'll take us right on and beyond Lunasa, and then I'll be on to the Ale House Wife series that will take us up close to Swan. But I think I'll give the Us and Trees series a start. Might not get through the whole lot, but I can always come back and finish it off next year. But before all of that is the compiling of the next module of the Journaling Nature Folklore. A lot of prompts around the oak is going to be in this one. And the oak itself here has recently come into abundant leafing. It was earlier than it usually is. And the oak being a prompt for strength, endurance, being present to all the things around us at all times, and giving us the ability of sensing balance and a sense of mediation and justice. And here's the start of my it's a very long Dew of the Oak poem. I'm just going to give you a few lines. O mighty oak, how bold you stand, stretching your limbs to bless this wondrous land. Your roots dug deep, branches like arms, leaves like hand, a sanctuary to calm. The oak invites sanctuary to rest, to think. We know many men have passed this way, because within this tree their spirits are here to share with us today. And that's all I'll share with that one. To sign up for the Journaling Nature Folklore course, you can join at any time. As I say, it's a cycled course. It's not a linear one. And that's the link there. And the cost is very moderate. Some people are actually complaining that I'm not charging enough for it. So there's a fine compliment. So maybe it's worth going for that course at the current prices before I change my mind, because I'm actually thinking of a way to fund the proper out and about video camera to add quality to this. Well, someone's put a heart up, so someone's watching. So that's great. Just wondering when I get the comments. There must be some kind of error, because I've never got through a whole show without at least one comment. And in fact, I haven't gone through a show with less than 10. Anyway, looking forward to you enjoying the Nature Folklore series as it manifests, as I say, with a new series coming up, and also sponsoring the Journaling Nature Folklore itself. I haven't got any comments This is really weird not being able to any comments to answer you with. But thank you if you did manage to. Right, something has just come up here. An error on the computer. I hope this hasn't been the thing. No, it's gone away, the error sign. Anyway, thank you for watching this Nature Echoes, if you managed to, even though your comments didn't come through. If you enjoy what we share here live and go through the Nature Folklore channels, please consider subscribing to Nature Folklore through the Substack link there. As I was saying, there's the free subscription where you get my article series, at least 40 articles written per year, and also the short story notes that I try and post most days. Someone's on board. So the link comments are working. The first link of the day. Hi, Breezy. Good evening, young fella. And she's going to join me for a few moments. So I think what's happened is the timing. We're in the summer, and I thought, why am I doing this at 5 on this? We're in summer. We're coming up to the longest days. So as I say, from next week, I'm moving right forward through the summer to presenting this. See how we get on with 9 p.m. And it's still very light for a while. And then we'll go back to earlier times as the daylight gets shorter. But as I was saying, if any of you upgrade to become a support subscriber, you're invited to automatically take part in the Journaling Nature Folklore course. And there's those subscription costs that help me cover this. Journaling Nature Folklore includes 20 course modules. You can join at any time, and a reviving course, as I was saying. Right. Yeah, you might want to know the course, €5 a month or €30 gives you a 50% discount for the whole year in your currency. So thank you for your support. Keeps me broadcasting here. What else can I do? Coming up, next Sunday's Nature Folklore. I'm not sure what the theme will be. I might get onto a tree theme. We'll see what news comes up. Probably some more on the rights for rivers, especially video clips and stuff. The hawthorn's also incredibly brilliant here. Some people that visited here, I'll show you a picture if it's any good. It's going to be weird on the screen. Yeah, let's get you a background so you can see this a bit better. Let's give you a leaves background. No, that doesn't. Let's take me off. That might help. If you don't hear me speaking. There it is. It's not in flower there. The people that told me about this, they said that they've never seen the blossoms. This is above the Ornagot Cave, the entrance to it. And they said it's absolutely white. And they were so taken by it and the feeling for it. They didn't take photographs. They just wanted the experience. So I think I might try and check that out before the hawthorn disappears. But one thing about let's get this. I'm on old-fashioned buttons. So people are saying they don't think they've seen the hawthorn as amazing. Right now, I got that wasn't related to the broadcast. I thought it was someone saying, I can't see you, can't hear you. Anyway, thank you. Even though there's only one comment that I can see, I hope you heard and saw this, which is very weird. I've enjoyed sharing this with you because I know some people, they will watch it a bit later and make their comments then, which is great. And thank you for Lisa for amazing video earlier, Lisa Moran, and also for Catherine McGlynn for that lovely interview of that hidden but beautiful well all the same. I'm going to be obviously really checking the comments and questions from time to time and reply what you post to the videos during the course of the week. As usual, click the bell icon on YouTube. I haven't had any YouTube people through today, that's for sure. But you'll be reminded of the Nature Echoes next time. So it's really, I've been on long enough, I think. Wishing you a wonderful, safe week, full of wonder, inspirations, enchantments, continuing to enjoy the glorious hawthorn blossom that's still abundant in some places, It's sort of fading away in others. But everything that you get that gives you the inspiration, peace, it's like smell the roses time, all comes from the presence, especially of water in the woods, on all those wonderful mysteries of nature. So until next Sunday, play well, and I think that's all I've got. And thank you so much. It's lovely. I hope you've enjoyed that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.